Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 50 of Age of Engineering, where I have an Enderman visiting me. Get out of my face. What are you doing down here? Who invited you? Nobody. That's who. Today, I want to work more on rockets. Specifically, making rockets. That's my plan. But before I do that, I want to show you something cool I did. I didn't know that there was a counting filter upgrade. Like, I didn't know there was a counting item filter that Ender.io added. It must have been added at some point. I just never noticed it. But basically, you can specify a certain number of items that are allowed to be kept in each inventory. So you can see here, I've specified each of these guys keep 12 redstone ingots, along with the other items that they're allowed to have. And I'm keeping redstone ingots stocked in this ME interface, so that pretty much anytime we take redstone out of here, it'll put up to 12 back in. Neat. I haven't told the system how to auto-craft redstone ingots yet, but that's pretty easy to do, honestly. So that shouldn't be a problem. Not at all. I like it. So today, we want to work on rockets, right? I think that's the plan. Last episode, we set up a bunch of things and a bunch of stuff. And we are doing pretty good. So over here, we've got a bunch of rocket fuel. And over here, we've got some liquid oxygen. This guy has more rocket fuel in him. Nice. It's pretty cool. I'm liking it. We will definitely have to do something with power, because I think we're pretty much out. We literally are running out of power right this second. I think I can go down here. Can't I just put you're a power storage item. That'll fill it up real quick. And at some point, I just have to actually run wiring over there. It shouldn't actually be that hard. In fact, we're probably halfway to it. We have wiring over here that runs into this stuff. So all we really need to do is probably just run it up along here. Yeah, so if I got some more conduits, we could hook this up, and then we'd be in really good shape. I was just being lazy with my wiring before. Bad Direwolf. Missing wood pulp. Alright, you don't know how to make wood pulp. That's the only thing you don't know how to make, though, so that's okay. So I could just run this along my water line that I made last episode, and we'll be good. So today, rockets. I think I'm at a position where I can actually blast off a rocket. I'm hoping this episode. So let me run this wiring, and then we're going to get to making a rocket. So one of the very first things we'll need to get is a launch pad. Launch pads are going to basically be what we launch our rocket off of. It's pretty straightforward to make. We're going to either need concrete from immersive engineering or from advanced rocketry. Advanced rocketry's concrete doesn't seem to have a recipe, so we'll do concrete from immersive engineering. Does that sound cool? Easy enough to make, it looks like. We just need buckets of water and some clay. I think I taught this thing how to make clay, so let's make like 100 clay just to be, you know, cool. I'm doing it in a kind of stupid way. I'm sag milling clay, which only gets you 2. Maybe you get a 3rd. Instead of, like, you know, break replacing it or something, but it's all good. And then we're going to want some buckets of water. That sounds like a plan for some concrete. I like it. 1, 2, 3, let's do 4 in total. And for now, that'll be enough, right? And then we can use this to get ourselves a launch pad. Now, hopefully, we don't seem to have quite enough daisies. I think I can sag mill them. What's our dark steel situation? Yeah, we could use more than that. Make me a bunch. Just to get extra daisy, dandelion yellow. I'm guessing grinder, electric crusher. Pretty sure sag mill is like a good way to go with this thing. But worst case, we could always get ourselves a sunflower, and maybe that would help. I don't know. We'll figure it out. The other thing we're going to need of maybe a bunch of ink sacs. I probably don't have a ton of those. What I could do, though, is probably scan them. Maybe that would be like a smart move. Just to scan these two dudes and see what their UU matter usage is. I imagine it's like nothing, right? Back in a minute when they're done scanning. Incidentally, I filled up my mass fab full of UU matter. How cool is that? I think this is an empty, yeah, fluid tank. Wow, you have no sides available to you. So what are you guys doing over here? You just filling up my Yeah, nice. You're filling this thing up. That's cool. This is really just a plutonium farm at this point. Like, that's all it's doing. It's farming plutonium for me. Don't want to lose this stuff. This is, like, critical awesomeness. How much can you store? You can definitely store more. Now, if I pull, will that extract? So that's interesting. I don't know if there's any way to get this UU matter out of here. I might be able to, like, bucket it or something. We'll figure something out if we ever need to move this machine. Are you done scanning? 75%. 301.5 millibuckets. What are you, crazy? Delete. What's an ink sac look like? Ink sacs I can't even scan. Alright, so that doesn't work. When in doubt, go hunt. Kill squids. Alright, so for now I'm thinking around 25 blocks for the launch pad. Should be a good point. And if we look at the guide, it kind of tells you everything you need to know about getting into space. So a rocket can be any shape, made of any blocks. It needs a few blocks. It needs to be placed on a launch pad, which has to be rectangular or square. And it has to have structured tower blocks. So we're going to need tower blocks. Let's get about 5 or 6 of these. They require steel rods. So let's get like 30 sounds like a good number. I think that'll get me, 4. So let's get, that'll get me 4. So let's get like 10 more. Yeah. That should be cool. And then that should get me my structure power blocks that I need. And let's take a look at what the guide says we need in terms of a rocket. Can be made of any shape and any blocks. It needs the following. The bare minimum to get a rocket into space needs liquid fuel tanks and liquid fuel engines. So let's get those going first. Liquid fuel. Engines need steel ingots and titanium plates. And tanks need steel rods and steel plates. Okay, I'm going to craft a lot of this off camera because I want to get to space today if I can. And then we're going to need a guidance computer and a seat. Cool. So guidance computer doesn't look too bad. Titanium plate, machine structure, tracking circuits, precision assembly. Nice. That's not bad at all. So we can totally make one of those. And then a seat, which is just some wool. So hey, cool. We're halfway there, right? Neat. Then, in addition to that, stuff, things, and more things, we're going to need a rocket assembling machine, and then we're also going to need a Planet ID chip. So let's just make sure that we have the stuff for all that. Planet ID chip doesn't look too bad. It's 2 basic circuits with a satellite ID chip, which is just a basic circuit. So now we've got the Planet ID chip we need, which is currently unprogrammed. And then we needed the rocket assembling machine. Cool, that doesn't look so bad. Titanium gears and titanium rods. Cool. So let's get a bunch of titanium. Well, we already have some, so that's cool. And I'll be back in a minute after I've crafted a few things. All right, I might have the things to build a rocket. All right, full disclosure, okay? You guys know that I'm not the fanciest builder in the world. All right, so I'm going to build the most basic rocket that's humanly possible in this mod. But if you wanted to get fancy in your own worlds, and you wanted to build a fancy-looking rocket with all kinds of blocks and glass and fanciness, be my guest. Me? Basic, simple rocket. That's what we're doing. So I think most of my machines over here are pretty cool. So let's stick this rocket, like, over here-ish, right? So let's do... So the first thing we do is build out our launch pad, right? And as you can see, it's said in the guide, and it is accurate, around a square or rectangle structure is what you want. And then you're going to want a structure tower that goes up like this. And the structure tower has to go up to the top of your rocket. So we might need a few more structure tower blocks. We'll see. So the rocket that I'm going to build, I'm going to stick 2 rockets with a couple of fuel tanks. And I can tell you already that there's not going to be enough fuel tanks. We're going to want our guidance computer on here. and then we're going to want a rocket seat right there. And inside the guidance computer UI, we put a Planet ID chip. That's all she wrote. Bada bing, bada boom. And then here, we're going to want our rocket assembly machine, which needs a little bit of power. So let's get, just because I want to be cool about this, cool in quotes. I also probably want to take a nap real quick. We're going to need more structure blocks. I can tell you that right now. More tower blocks. So let's get the things cooking here that I'm going to need, which is steel rods. I'm going to get 30-ish of them, because I'm also going to need more rocket tanks. I can tell you that much, too. So if we stick this dude down, he should be filling power up in here. So we can scan this rocket, and it's like, bzzz, and it's going to tell me what's up. Not enough fuel capacity. Haha, I knew it. So based on what you built this rocket with, it tells you how much thrust it has, because we've got 2 engines on there, right? So we've got 20 newtons of thrust. If I got rid of one of these and scanned it enough, 10 newtons of thrust. Cool. So I guess like we have enough thrust for our weight. Our weight is 7 newtons. We have enough thrust for 10. What if I put like, just being silly here and figuring out how this mod works a little bit on camera. Scan. Cool. So that's 10 newtons of weight, 10 newtons of thrust. So if I put another block on there, what I'm imagining will happen is we now have 11 newtons of weight. You do not have enough thrust. See? Not enough thrust. Aha. And if I threw this engine down and scanned again, now we should have enough thrust. Cool. With the 12 weight that we have. But I'm not going to actually have these blocks here. So we're going to scan it again. And while that's scanning, hello lightning, let's go over here and make more liquid fuel tanks and structure blocks. So tower, let's get like 2 more. And then fuel tank. We're going to want 1. Boom. 2, 3, 4. That's about what we're going to want. And you can see like the fuel line here. So technically, this and this might be close to enough. Clear for liftoff. We do have just enough fuel running at 2 millibuckets per second, it looks like. What I'm going to do is throw an extra fuel tanker on there. And to do that, if we scan this, I think it's going to say the same metrics because our structure tower is not tall enough. So if I bring that structure tower thingy in line with that and scan now, cool. So now we have plenty of fuel, which is good. Yeah, and you're in line with my rocket. So this is literally the most basic rocket humanly possible by man. You can't get any simpler than that. Cool, I guess? But before we go into space, we have to worry about things like breathing. Breathing's important, and it is a thing you have to worry about before you go into space. So if we want to, we can build this rocket. Boop, and you're going to get a slightly different effect. And now the rocket is no longer separate blocks. It's like an entity, and it's one whole rocket. So you can see I can't even like, it's like a little bit weird the way I walk into it. It turned this into an entity instead of separate blocks. And I can right-click it. Hey, cool. Nice. There's a hotkey that is by default conflicting with something. So in my controls, open rocket GUI, I made numpad 4. Your mileage may vary. Hit that, and you can see you can select your destination. And we see a little lovely picture of our solar system. Cool. And we should have a moon out here somewhere that we can find. Moon, where are you? Hey, there it is. Luna, the moon. Destination Luna. Space to take off, which isn't going to work because look on the bottom left of my screen right now. You see altitude, velocity, and at the very bottom left, fuel, which is empty. So guess what we need? Rocket fuel. Which shouldn't be too bad. You can either hook up a rocket fueling platform to this guy, or we can just come over to here. Rocket fuel. And I think I picked up a can of this when I was testing something earlier. I'm going to get a few more cans. Boop, boop, boop. Yay. I've got rocket fuel coming my way. Why are you being weird? Rocket fuel can. Oh, I did liquid oxygen before. That's why. That's why. I was testing something. But I've got rocket fuel cans now. And in theory, when I sit on this dude. I think I can right-click on these dudes. All right, cool. So that is not working. What I need to get... wow, you filled up really fast, didn't you? Cool. Will you empty? All right, so somehow I need to get this. A tank of rocket fuel. Can I get it with a bucket? Maybe a bucket going into here will get me these tanks. Oh, it does. Sweet. Hey, where did you... Okay, cool. Can I push you? No, because you're a fluid output hatch. Cool, didn't think so. Because what I noticed is I can't put buckets into there. Oh, come on. I can't put buckets in here to get my rocket fuel tanks. So, I don't know if it's like bad-ish. But that's kind of cool that that's a thing. Hey, why don't we do this real quick? So maybe storing these in tanks is not the greatest of ideas. Actually, the way I have these set up is back is the input. So that should fill up liquid oxygen for me. Neat. There must be some kind of sneaky way, and I'm wondering if I... What's in here? Plenty of liquid oxygen. Plenty of liquid hydrogen. Yeah. Wonder if I got a fluid input hatch. There's probably ways I could finagle this into being rocket fuel tanks. But this guy is slowly but surely making more rocket fuel for me. Wish I had known that whole little thing a minute ago, because I've got a bunch of rocket fuel that I may or may not be able to figure out how to use. So this is oxygen, this is oxygen, which we're going to need more of in a minute anyway, and that's hydrogen. Cool. So you're going to keep making a bunch of rocket fuel for me. This, I know for sure, because I tested this in a test world where I cheated in the items. Yeah, it's not listed there anymore, but right-click, fills up about a quarter of a fuel tank. So in order to get to the moon, we need a full tank of gas. And it's 4, as you can see, bits of fuel to get to the moon. And guess what? If we want to get our rocket home, we're going to need another 4. So we want at least 2 more buckets of fuel in order to get home. So let's wait for that to cook. And while we're waiting for that to cook, we need a spacesuit, which isn't too hard to make. So a space helmet needs more iron rods. And because iron, I don't care about you, let's also get some iron plates. And space suit. So the helmet, check. The boots, check. This guy needs one of these. So let's get some steel rods and a steel fan. So we'll be back in a minute. There we go. All up and running. Space suit and space leggings. Nice. So take off the armor, put on this stuff, and hey, achievement get, suit up. Nice. We can modify and upgrade this thing. Also, you'll notice that we now have an O2 meter, where normally our breathing meter would be for being underwater. So let's get... So there's 2 things we can do. First, we can get a suit workstation, which is just a structure block. Come on. This guy. And a crafting table. And then the other thing we're going to want is a filling station rocketry. I'll recognize it when I see it. I forget the name of the actual block. This guy. Gas charge pad. I'm probably going to want... Wow, that's a lot of things. Okay, cool. Steel plate, 2 steel fans. 1... 2. Gas charge pad, 2 of you. So we're going to want more of you. A decent number. We'll be back in a minute when it's all done crafting. All right, if I'm correct, gas charge pad should be go. Nice. So in order to fill your suit with oxygen, you put oxygen into a gas charge pad, and then you stand on gas charge pad, and you're good to go. So what I think I'll do is borrow liquid oxygen here. And I'll probably steal this guy too while I'm at it, because I want to try and keep this thing balanced. Because we're also going to need hydrogen at some point for things and stuff that we'll talk about in a minute. So maybe I'll do this out here, actually. I don't think this needs power. So what I want to do is stick this guy right here, and then we might have, this is hydrogen, right? Yeah, hydrogen. Cool. So I'm going to output here. This should fill this guy with oxygen. And then when I stand on the gas charge pad, you'll see my oxygen meter start to fill up. Cool. I like it. Spiffy. So that's giving me oxygen, which I can breathe on other planets. And I'm pretty sure it won't use the oxygen when I'm on a planet like Earth or Minecraftia or whatever this planet is. And that's pretty cool by me. All right, so got oxygen now. And I also made the suit workstation, which is a cool thing. Maybe I'll put this outside as well. You can put it over here because it kind of fits thematically, the whole suit thing. So in here, you can put your suit and put in upgrades, and there's a bunch of upgrades you can get from Rocketry. So a couple upgrades I might want to get are, I think they're down here. So there's, so you can add more tanks. I think these just store more oxygen. So that's cool. We can also get a jetpack. We can get bionic leg upgrades. We can get padded landing boots. Atmospheric analyzer. There's apparently also a laser gun, which sounds pretty cool. So let me see what's involved. So I definitely wouldn't mind getting the jetpack. Steel plate, string, fire charge. You can craft those, right? Yeah. So a jetpack might be a cool thing to get. Maybe a hover upgrade for the jetpack. I haven't figured out how to use this thing, so I might not even bother. I played with it in single player and couldn't get it to work. I need advanced circuit, control circuits. This is just advanced circuit plate. I'm going to do all this crafting off camera because it's a lot of time-intensive crafting. I just have to wait for things to run. So I'll be back in a minute once I've got it all. All right, so an advanced circuit, feather, leather boots, and control circuit. In the precision assembler, right? Leather boots, feather, advanced circuit, control circuit. Oh, hey, look, it's going. Nice! Here come my boot upgrades. I think this just makes it so I don't take damage when I fall. So I take my boots off, I put them in there, I put this in, and then I put them back in. And you can see on the bottom left there now, or on the top left, or I guess the middle left, is probably the best way to phrase that, is there. Let's get some other upgrades going. Alright, so I think, I'm not 100% sure about this. I've only got one input hatch here, but I need to put 5 items in. So I suspect what I need to do is get another input hatch, item input hatch, start that up. That'll take a moment or two. There we go. And I'm guessing, let me take these out just in case. I'm thinking, hopefully this can go here. Good, cool. So I put these 4 back in with one of these, and now you should be cool if I power you back on. Nice! There's the atmospheric analyzer. So that's how you make recipes with more than 4 items. Got it. Alright, so atmospheric analyzer will tell me if it's safe to breathe on a planet, which I think we all know the moon is probably not a safe place to go breathing, but I just wanted to check out this upgrade real quick. It only took a second to set up. I'm not going to make the rockets or the jetpack just yet, and the reason I'm not doing that, we may do it later. I don't think I need it for where I'm going, number one. But the jetpack requires low-pressure tanks, which are made in a rolling machine, and I don't think I've done the multi-block rolling machine yet. I'm pretty sure that's not one of the ones that I've created. So we will take care of that later. Maybe? So for now, I think we're ready to go to the moon. What do you guys think? I think that's exciting. I think we've got some extra tanks of rocket fuel, which is good, which will mean we can get home from the moon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put away all the stuff that I don't need. I don't think I want to bring my armor with me, But what I do want to bring is my ability to mine lots of good stuff. So I'm going to bring my magnet and my upgrades, my drill augments, so that I can actually like have this stuff. I'll put this rocket fuel away, the hydrogen can. I don't think I need my hollow projector. I made a structure block for something. I forget what. Oh, I took it off the guy out there. Cool. Silicon wafer can go away. Everything else can stay with me. I definitely want to bring my charged porter. This is a way for me to get home. I'm planning, by the way, to eventually set up a matter transmitter receiver system so I can get from planet to planet without using a rocket every time I want to go there. I can teleport there directly, which will be cooler. But let's make sure that it's daytime. And am I good to go to the moon? I think I'm good to go to the moon. Hashtag hype the moon. Alright. Creepers, leave my rocket ship alone. We've already seen an exploding rocket ship on this channel before, and we don't want to see it again. Alright. So let's get in our rocket. Boop. Destination is Luna, remember, because we already went here and selected destination and chose the moon, wherever he is now. Remember, the moon goes around the planet, so you have to find him. Select destination Luna. We've got fuel in there. We've got enough fuel to get home. All I have to do is press space. Nice. You're a little loud. I wonder what the music volume is. Nope. Nope. You don't suppose it's blocks, do you? Oh, that's a thing. We're going to the moon. I'm not going to worry about it. Here we go. So you can see on the left, my one probe overlay is like a little bit messing with that, but you can see our altitude. So you can see like right now we're still in the green zone, which I think is like close enough to the planet. But then once we pass this threshold, we're like definitely in the atmosphere of the planet. And you can see our velocity going up and our fuel going down. So that's cool, right? You can see on the bottom, because I installed that, that probe thing, we've got atmosphere type air, 1 ATM, breathable, yes. When we get to the moon, we will probably see that change. Cool. So we're definitely in space now. What's up, space? How's it going? That is so cool. We are taking off. So our altitude, our velocity is like peaking out now, right? Our altitude's getting pretty close. When we hit the top of our altitude, we're going to transition to the moon. Cool. So we're almost there. Man, that is neat. Look at that. Hey, there we go. Nice. It'll auto-descend in 23 seconds, but I'll hit space to descend right now. So we are officially on the moon. Well, we're in orbit of the moon. We're going down. So altitude is dropping. Our velocity is bottomed out. And you can see we're falling pretty rapidly here. And what should wind up happening is we will... Our rockets will automatically thrust themselves to slow us down. There it goes. Nice. And soon we should see the surface of the moon. Hey, look, there it is. Cool. Today I learned there are bees on the moon. Nice. Cool. And you can see, all right, shift to get off the rocket. Beautiful. So we landed. Hey, look, we are on the moon, guys. How cool is that? Hey, look, there's Earth. That is awesome. That is super cool. And I jump really high on the moon. Woo! That is nifty. It's my first time actually landing on another planet in this mod. So that's cool. So one of the things we needed to get here, according to our guide, yada yada, fuel your rocket, yada yada, rocket assembly machine, yada yada, spacesuit, fill it with oxygen, jetpack if you want. Your first destination is the moon, where you'll find dilithium, which is mainly used as a fuel for the warp core of the space station, and a warp core space station is needed to travel to other planets. So to build a space station, we'll look at probably next episode, but today we want to go digging. So let's do that thing you're not supposed to do. So you think there's lava on the moon? What are the chances that there's lava on the moon? Oh, do that thing you're not supposed to do in modded Minecraft, or in any Minecraft game, for that matter. Let's go dig straight down. I don't think I want to die on the moon. I feel like that would be a bad time for me. But what we're looking for is dilithium crystals, right? And dilithium starts to show up right around Y level 63, pretty low chance, and then it rapidly picks up right around the 50s. And then your best chance to find it is around Y level 8. It's almost a 1% chance. So there'll actually probably be a decent amount down by like the lower levels. But it looks like regular ores are here too, which is cool. Nice. And boy, I didn't bring my void satchel, did I? Haha, bad direwolf. But let's find just some dilithium here, just for the sake of finding it. And we may build a moon base, potentially. We are currently at Y level 50, so we should be at a point where dilithium is going to start showing up, right? In theory. Did I bring any torches? I did. Good thing I brought... Oh, right. Torches probably don't work on the moon. There's no oxygen. Well, that's a little bit weird. It's an advanced rocketry torch. That's funny. So yeah, no torches on the moon, guys. Today we learned. It's actually kind of cool that he implemented it that way. Hey, dilithium. Achievement get. Hey, there's some dilithium. Sweet. Are item entities floating around? Oh, that is awesome. You guys see that effect? Did you see that? I hope it's bright enough that you can actually see those items like popping around. But items seem to be affected by the lower gravity too, which is a super awesome effect. I can't turn this magnet off, but you can see them floating around up there. Ah, that's so cool. So, yeah, dilithium doesn't seem to be too rare. Once you find a pocket of it, it's like, it almost looks like coal, where there's a ton of it. Which I have no idea how much I'm going to need. Like, I don't know if it's like, we need hundreds of them, or we need like 10 and we're good, right? But at the very least, I think I'd like to dig down to the lower Y levels here. And let's come back in a moment. I think it's really cool how item entities have the same gravity situation going on. Look at that. That is so awesome. All right, enough geeking out over gravity. Well, maybe not. But finding lots, like I said, expectedly, of dilithium down here at the lower Y levels. I'm going to mine a bunch, and then we're going to blast off and go home. Alright, so I provisioned my bags, but I think we've got a decent amount. Yeah, get out of there. So we've got like a stack and a quarter of dilithium. It may be enough, it may not. But I want to go home, so let's go. I've also noticed, oh look, my oxygen bar just dipped to the point where it's starting to be a little bit low. Like, not low, but like it's moved a little bit. So that's cool. So we are using oxygen here, but it seems to be at a very slow pace, so oxygen's not a concern. Now, technically, I could teleport home. The problem with teleporting home is I would leave my rocket here, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to get on the rocket, I'm going to open up, select destination, choose the Earth, select, I'm going to make sure to right-click some rocket fuel onto this bad boy, and space to take off. And now, we launch off the moon. See ya, moon! We'll come back, though. I may want to make a moon base? I don't know. Alright, so we're descending back to Earth on our fancy little rocket. And now we have dilithium crystals, which apparently means we should be able to make a space station now, which is another cool thing. We're definitely going to want to get matter... Hey, there we go. We're blasting the rockets to slow down. We're definitely going to want to get matter transmitters and receivers going between these destinations eventually, so we don't have to keep taking rockets, which takes like roughly, I mean, 3 to 4 minutes isn't that long time, but I much rather the click button and pew, and then you're, you know, where you want to be. So that's cool. Hey, look, we're home. Beautiful. Let's get away from the creepers. Lots of bad guys nearby. But hey, we made it home from the moon. Everybody's happy about that, right? Putting away our stuff, putting away our stuff, putting away our stuff. And let's take this out before we forget. Nice. So a little bit more rocket fuel that we have left over. And we're home, guys. We made it back from our moon mission. Nice. Including getting some dilithium. So let's wrap up the episode here, and we'll come back next episode. And between then and now, I will, or now and then, yeah, one of those two. Well, I'll figure out how space stations work, because I spent a bunch of time in my test world between this episode learning how rockets work. So next up is space stations. Oh, that's cool. Look at that niftiness. Sweet. There was a bunch of smoke there from my rocket landing. All right, Devil20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.